We're moving into footwork and balance in the frontal plane. That's side to side. This is for injury prevention and also sports enhancement. So for our footwork today, we are going to be seated on the stability ball. You're going to grab your heaviest loop band, and this is going to go around your metatarsals, your feet. So sit on the stability ball, and I want to make sure that the band is around the baby toes, and so it's a little closer to the metatarsals than the arch of the foot. Perfect. Sit with your hands on your hips, thumbs on the bony protrusions of the hips, and the fingers pointing down towards the floor. Pull your shoulder blades together and your shoulders down your back. Inhale, feel your pelvis reaching towards the floor. Exhale, your dominant foot's from the ankle joint out to the side, eversion, out to the side. Inhale it back to parallel. Exhale, evert the foot. We're going this slow. Inhale, parallel. So in isolation from the ankle joint, footwork is really important for saving our knees, for proprioception, for injury prevention. So before we start moving through space, balancing, I want to wake up the lateral intrinsic muscles of your feet because of the pronation with lordosis. Those are that's the weaker part of the foot. And once we balance it out, you'll use the hamstrings and glutes more frequently so the hip flexors and quads don't get overused. Let's go ahead and switch to the other foot. Sitting up tall, using your breath, moving only on the exhale, the foot out, and then bringing it in on the inhale. Lengthen your exhales and inhales as far as the time that you're doing them. So maybe 4 count or 5 count, really go slow. Plug the shoulders down, build strength in your core, sitting upright on that stability ball. Legs are hip distance apart. If you feel your chest getting too involved, imagine my hands on your shoulder blades, bring your front ribs towards my hands, plug the shoulders down, use your breath. From here, we're going to do some standing work for our upper back. So we did our trapezius rhomboid exercise at the beginning and back work. We're now going to do it standing. And what I'd like you to do is grab your lightest Theraband and your lightest loop band. And like we did when you were seated, you're going to thread the Theraband through the loop band. And we're going to also have our heaviest loop band around our outer thighs, just so we feel the abductors of the legs and we don't take our legs too wide or too narrow. This also will help with balance. So the position is a hamstring curl with the top of one foot on the stability ball. The arch of the other foot, you put the loop band around, and then you're going to hold the Theraband in both hands in your right angles. So we're in that right angle position with our arms. So bring the loop band around one foot and the top of the foot, the other foot on the stability ball behind you in a hamstring curl. Once the arms are up in this position, these two right angles, you're going to inhale and you're going to exhale and you're going to twist towards your standing leg, really recruiting the TVA. So we're doing those elbow pulses back. We're only twisting in the direction of our standing leg. Back, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, prepare, center, and exhale, twist. Let those inner thighs come together a little if you can, or you can pull out on the band, keeping the legs hip distance if you have any back issues. Now, the other leg's going to want to move all over the place. Try to keep it still. Try to isolate from your torso, lengthening those obliques and QL. Elbows as high as the shoulders, right angles, wrists are flat. Give me one more here, and let's switch sides. Your back should be awake by now. Switching sides will give that upper back a break before we go to the other side. Make sure that that loop band is around your upper thighs, not on the knees, and the elbows are as high as your shoulders. Forearms are flat, wrists are flat. And from here, inhale, exhale, twisting over that front leg, and the standing leg rather. You don't want to twist over the leg that's on the ball because that's going to be really awkward. You'll feel it if you do it. So pull the low abs in. Every inhale is a chance to pull the pelvis down towards the floor to stabilize you more. Softly bend the supporting knee. Keep your focus up a little higher than eye level. This is the ultimate challenge for those obliques, and we need them when we're riding. Elbows lifted, forearms open. Gaze a little higher than eye level. One more. And last one. Okay, set all the bands to the side. All you need is your heaviest Theraband for this exercise. You're going to bring it behind your back, and then you're going to thread it under your armpits. So you're in serve the platter position with the heaviest Theraband behind your back. And it's behind your back so that you can remind yourself to not spray your ribs forward. You can bring your front ribs towards that band that's behind your shoulder blades. Wrap it around the knuckles, thumbs on the outsides, palms facing up. Now, I want you to mount the stability ball like you would a horse so that your feet are behind you and your inner thighs are squeezing in on the ball. So your toes could lift up basically into a hamstring curl behind you. If you're on a stability ball appropriate to your height, this will feel fine. Now, it's going to feel a little wobbly. You're going to feel like you're going to fall, but that's the point. I want your arms forward, and you're just going to isometrically hold those arms out in front of you. Now, from here, I want you to just shift so you're on one set of your toes and point the other toes, so you're lifting up. So this is our frontal plane balance. You're going to squeeze the inner thighs in. Inhale, pull your pelvis down. Exhale, just hold the position. So one set of toes is up, the other toes are down. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the ball, inner thighs squeeze in, hold it there. Inhale and exhale, and now shift to the other toes. Pointing the toes, squeezing in on that ball, hold. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Point the toes of the lifted foot. Inhale, 2. Exhale, 2. Really squeeze that ball, lengthen up through your center. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Shift back to the other side. Point the toes, hold it here. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift up through your center. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift up. Switch, last time. Point the toes, hold it here. Inhale, 1, breathe, shoulders plug down. Exhale, and remind those front ribs. Reach for that band behind your shoulder blades. Plug the shoulders down. Lift the chin up, gaze a little higher than eye level. Great, let's make our way off the ball. That's a lot of work for the inner thighs, balance, proprioceptors, those low abs, the feet. We're gonna take a nice, well-deserved release. All the bands to the side. I want you to come onto all fours, and I want you to drape your torso over the ball so you're in flexion. So you're basically hanging. Your knees can be touching, your feet can be touching, whatever feels comfortable. Basically like a supported cat position on the stability ball. Allow your head to hang, your shoulders, your facial muscles, everything is relaxing. Releasing the back, releasing the neck, hanging here. Deep flexion. Now, come back to that belly breathing we were doing when we were lying supine before. I want you to push your belly actively into the ball. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, let it relax back towards the spine. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, push the belly into the ball. 2, 3, 4, and exhale, relax it. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, push in. 2, 3, 4, and exhale, relax. 2, 3, 4. Great job. We're moving into squats and balance work in the transverse plane. For our squat series, we're going to bring the stability ball behind our back against a wall. I want you to have your heaviest loop band around your outer thighs so that we can work the abductors of the legs. We're going to be doing 2-to-1 squats. And what is that? That is starting on 2 legs, shifting to 1 at the bottom of the squat. Please don't shift to 1 leg at the beginning because you're going to decrease the range of motion you can get. So you go down on 2, you shift over to 1. We're going to hold for a breath at the bottom, and then we're going to come back up. I'll cue you through it. The ball is behind your back. Now you're going to have to figure out where behind your back it feels best so that when you sit back into your squat, you feel some sense of support, but you also still feel a little unstable, and you feel your glutes, your butt muscles, and your hamstrings recruiting. Bring your hands to your hips, thumbs on the bony protrusions of the hips, fingers pointing down to the floor. Plug your shoulders down. Take a deep inhale, feel your pelvis pulling towards the floor, no movement yet. Exhale, let your inner thighs pull you back into that squat, sitting back into that squat. Shifting over to your dominant leg first. Kicking your butt with the heel of your other leg. Holding it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. And inhale, standing up on that 1 leg. Pause at the top. Inhale, pull the pelvis down. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back into your squat. Sitting back on 2 legs, shifting over to the other side, kicking your butt with the other heel, pointing the toes with the leg that's lifted. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. And inhale, standing back up tall. Good. Now, some people prefer the hands to come forward into shoulder flexion. If that feels better than the hands on the hips, go ahead and do that. Sit back when you're ready, shifting back to the dominant leg. Finding that single leg squat at the bottom. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Inhale, standing back up tall on that single leg. Both legs down. Exhale, sit back immediately. Shift over to the other side. Hold. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. And inhale, stand back up tall. One more time on each side. Exhale, sit back. Shift over immediately. Hold. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. And inhale, stand back up. And last time, exhale, sit back. Shifting over. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. And inhale, standing up tall. Good. From here, moving into some upper body work. So we're going to, these are challenging. If you feel like this is too much for you today, I'd encourage you to take a child's pose right now. You're going to keep the heaviest band around let's take the heaviest band actually off. You'll take your second to heaviest band with the YouniquelyFit kit. That's our purple band. That'll go around your outer thighs. This heaviest band is going to go above the elbows. You're going to walk out into a plank. Now, the most advanced version would be your shins on the ball. A regressed version would be your knees/thighs on the ball. The arms, we're putting that band around the upper elbows. It's going to give you some support, and it's also going to show you how much you need to pull out as much as push down. This will stabilize you and take some of the pressure off the joints, the elbows, and the shoulders. So you're walking out into a full plank. If you have the knees and thighs on the ball, that's fine. If you have the shins, that's going to be a little more aggressive. Great as well. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, moving the pelvis into flexion as you bend the knees and pull the knees in towards the chest. So drive from your thighs and your low belly in, and then straighten the legs back out. So I want you to inhale, rounding in, reaching the pelvis towards the floor as you come in, and exhale your inner thighs, pull your legs back out to plank. Inhale, rounding in. Make sure you're pulling out on the band around your upper arms, pushing down into the floor, bracing those low abs, keeping the chin lifted, feeling the abductors of the legs as you pull out on the band that's around the thighs. Good. Now, if you can, push yourself back into a child's pose, staying on the ball, so sitting the pelvis back. Hands will still be on the floor. Push your forehead into the band, engaging your neck flexors here. Tailbone sitting back on the heels, neck flexors pushing the head into that band. Breathing here into the low back. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Now it's a little awkward getting off. Find your way off very slowly, taking that band off the upper arms. You're going to keep the band that's on the thighs. It should be the heaviest loop band in the YouniquelyFit kit, the gray band. We're going to grab our stability ball now and hold it chest height. So we're going to move into balance work in the transverse plane with our heaviest Theraband around our outer thighs. So this band is here just so you keep your legs hip distance. Holding the ball chest height, I want you to take a quarter turn. It doesn't matter which leg you start on. Just make sure you start at 12 o'clock and you turn to either 3 or 9 o'clock. So it's a quarter turn onto one leg. The other leg lifts into a hamstring curl. From here, I want you to take a deadlift, tapping that ball down to the floor, down to the leg, that our standing leg. The other leg comes up into a warrior 3 position. Behind you, leg lift, and then you lift that ball right back up to the chest and the leg comes down. Give me 3 of those. Exhale to lower into the deadlift, lifting the leg up. And inhale, bringing it back up. Pelvis pulls down as you come up. Exhale, inner thighs pull back as you lower down, tapping the ball to the floor. And inhale, standing back up. Good. Quarter turn back to me, back to 12 o'clock onto the other leg and repeat. Tapping down on your exhale. and lifting up on your inhale. Slow and steady wins the race. Shoulders plug down. Exhale, tap down. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. And inhale, lift up. And one more time, exhale, tap down. And inhale, lift up. And quarter turn again. Repeat. Same thing on second set, last set on the first side. Tapping down on your exhale, using the low abs to control it as you go down. Plug the shoulders down. Point the toes of the lifted leg. Plantar flexion. Engage your adductors as much as the abductors. The band's helping with the abductors. Soft bend in the supporting knee. That'll help with the balance. Take it down and up. And one more on this side. These are tricky. And go ahead and repeat on the second side. Last time. Step to balance is important. Find the balance immediately on one leg. Move right into those deadlifts. You can always decrease range of motion if you're feeling your back or knees. Go halfway down. Brace your abs. Exhale. And inhale, lift. Listen to your body. It's not about range of motion right now. It's about quality of the movement. Relax your facial muscles. Use your breath. Exhale, Darth Vader breath as you go down. And inhale, up. Great. Set that stability ball to the side. Grab your foam roller. Keep the band that's on your thighs on. And come by a wall. I want your dominant leg farthest away from the wall, standing profile. You're going to step back up onto your roller. Make sure you have ToeSox on if you are really challenged balance-wise. Do this on the floor if not. Step up onto the roller, soft bend in the knees. Now, if your hamstrings happen to be tight today, you can grab a yoga block or a book to help out with this. If not, you'll be fine. Tuck the chin to the chest and begin to curl down. The hand that's on the wall will walk down the wall. Most people with lordosis have open hamstrings, so this shouldn't be too intense. It should feel nice. Soft bend in the knees. We're reaching for the floor with the outside hand, and the other hand is holding onto the wall. Use your low abs. You can't check out with the abs here. Soft bend in the knees. Each inhale, the pelvis reaches for the roller. Each exhale, the inner thighs pull back a little. Neck relaxes, facial muscles relax. Who knew a forward fold could be so challenging? Brace your abs. Inhale and sigh out that air. Exhale. Soft bend in the knees. Use your toes. Wrap them around the roller. Bend the knees. Don't lock the knees. Inhale. Sigh the air out and exhale. With a bend in the knees, begin to round up. Using your low belly, holding onto that wall. Take the other hand to the hip if that helps with stability. Plug the shoulders down. Make sure the blood pressure, your blood's settled, your balance, you're relaxed before you step off with a soft bend in the knees. Great job. We're moving into our final standing series, lunges, balance work in the sagittal plane. For our lunges today, we're going to set up in a warrior two position. If you're not familiar with warrior two, make sure you take your loop band off. You won't need it for your warrior two. You will need a 3-pound weight, 1 3-pound weight, and your stability ball. So the setup is like so. You'll stand in the center of your mat and step your legs out really wide into just a wide second position. And then you'll turn one set of toes to 12 o'clock, the other toes to either 10 or 2, depending on which leg you start with. Stability ball is going to rest on the top of your toes that are at 12 o'clock. You're going to put your front hand on that stability ball for some extra stability. You're going to bring the weight into the same arm as your back leg. We're going to row up, and then we're going to take a press. So you're going to go down as you row, and then you're going to lift the forearm as you twist your torso up and press. So make sure you're bending deeply into your front knee in that warrior two. You're using deep range of motion. You're not coming out of your warrior two. You're keeping the legs in that position and just rotating the torso. The hand on the stability ball challenges your balance. Make sure if you have hyperextension in your elbows, you're not locking out into that elbow. Soft bend in that elbow. Shoulders plugged down. Let your head turn with the arm. Don't lock the arm that's going up with the weight either. Keep a micro bend in the elbow. Use the low belly by pulling it in and tugging up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee. Give me 2 more here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Brace your abs as you switch sides. Setting up on the other side. Warrior 2, stability ball. Begin those rows. Isolating that torso twisting. Recruiting our hamstrings to stabilize. Our adductors. Try to turn off the hip flexors and turn on the low belly, the low pelvic floor muscles. So the hip flexors are around your groin, and they're overactive with lordosis. They're what we stretched when we sat on the ball in a lunge at the beginning of our class together. Just make sure you're not squeezing those too hard. Try to relax them. Squeeze your butt muscles instead. 2 more. 2. And last one. And 1. Excellent. Set that weight to the side. Grab your stability ball. Hold the stability ball overhead. Step your feet wide in a wide second position. A little less wide as like the setup for Warrior 2. Feet are parallel. We're going to do a standing saw, Pilates saw. You're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale, you're going to twist your torso and tap the ball down to the outside of one of your feet. Tap it down on your exhale, and then inhale, lift it overhead, twisting the torso over the other side of your body, exhaling and tapping the ball down on the other side. Inhale, lifting up, plugging the shoulders down. And so keep your legs pretty straight with a micro bend in the knees for this exercise. So yeah, it's more about trunk flexion here. And you've got that with lordosis. You don't have to worry about the hamstrings pulling because we've got those open hamstrings. And we're lifting up. Micro bend the knees so we don't go into any pronation or bow leg not kneed position from the pronation in the feet. So keep the knees soft and keep twisting on the breath. Exhale down. And as you lift the arms up on the inhale, make sure your pelvis pulls down in opposition. As you lower the ball, the inner thighs pull back. Pelvis pulls down as you lift the ball up. Give me 1 more on each side. Wonderful. Our final step to balance, we're going to be doing on our foam roller. This is an extra challenge. Go ahead and make sure you have ToeSox on. If not, do this on the floor. You can hold a weight instead of the Theraband. If you can hold your 3-pound weight instead of the Theraband if you're scared to use the roller. Roller will be by the wall. We're going to have our lightest Theraband, the yellow in the YouniquelyFit kit, 1/4 of the way into the foam roller. Now, this is the same exercise we did in our lower body series, our hamstring kickback and our shoulder press, except we're stepping up into it. So we're stepping up onto our outside leg, into the shoulder press, immediately bringing the inside foot into the hamstring curl. So you need your lightest loop band on your ankles. Make sure it's not on the feet, but on the ankles. That is our orange band in the YouniquelyFit kit. Once you step up to balance, our outside arm and shoulder flexion, inside foot in your hamstring kickback. Stabilize here. See if you can find your balance. See if you can remove that hand that's on the wall for a second and stabilize. Soft bend in the supporting knee. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2, point the toes. Exhale 2. Use the foot that's on the roller and point it around it. Good. Now from here, step in front of the roller slowly. Still have the loop band on, still holding on to that Theraband. So it's going to be the same leg that was standing. The outside leg is going to step up. You've got to push down as you step up, as you step back. So carefully going up, brace your abs, soften the supporting knee, and kick the foot into the band. Find that hamstring kick back and hold. Inhale 1, breathe, shoulder flexion. Focus of the eyes up a little higher than eye level. Find the balance. Inhale 2, exhale 2. Inhale 3, get the thighs closer. Exhale 3. And let's make our way off slowly, keeping a soft bend in the supporting knee. Switching sides, switching our leading leg. Now, if that was your dominant leg on the outside, this side's going to be much more challenging. So I want you to be very safe. If you were challenged on your dominant side, I'd encourage you to do this on the floor with a weight instead if you're worried about your balance. If you want the challenge and you feel up to it, let's go. Step on up, and you're going to kick the arch of the foot into the band. finding that shoulder flexion and hamstring kickback. Pointed toes, lifted low abs, shoulders plugged down. Imagine my hands on your shoulder blades. Bring the front ribs towards them. Remember that serratus puff. Shoulder blades puffing back. Front ribs soft, belly tight. All right, step in front of your roller. This is the ultimate challenge. This is the scary one. But as long as you're breathing correctly, you should be fine. I want you to inhale, put the foot on the roller. Standing up on that inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the roller. Exhale, kick the arch of the foot back into the band and hold. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Pelvis pulls down. Exhale. Pelvic floor muscles help you slowly come off of the roller. Setting all your bands to the side, grabbing either a pillow, a yoga block, or a small anti-burst ball, and a trigger ball. If you don't have a trigger ball, which is a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you can use the foam roller for this. It'll work fine. The ball is going to be a little more effective. The trigger ball is going to get into the fascia. We're going to roll the posterior tibialis. So the tibia medially, we're going to roll the fascia around that in a side lying position. So lie on your side. Start with your dominant leg stacked on top, so farthest away from the floor. Ball under your head. You'll drape that top leg forward, bringing the little small ball or the foam roller medially into the fascia below the knee, near the tibia bone. It's right here. And we're going to roll into that area. Now, this can be very tender, and it is especially tender if your knees are having problems tracking, or if you're everting your feet and not everting the leg from the hip socket. It can cause the knee, the posterior tibialis, to get tight and you to get knots. So, if you do any form of cardio outside of, you're riding, like running or even hiking, you can get some pain if your ankles, your feet are everting when you're walking. So this is a great reset if you're feeling knee pain. Another trigger spot would be above the knee medially. So play around with where you're most sensitive. And since we're on the dominant side, I'd encourage you to stay here a little longer. And you can move that shin, bending the knee, rolling in and out. I find that right near the knee is the most tender for me, but some people, if you're wearing flip-flops, depending on what season it is, can feel it closer to the ankle, can feel some knots. So just play around with the movement, bending the knee. Give yourself another couple breaths and then go ahead and switch sides. Final minute here. You've done great work. Keep breathing as you're stretching, and don't check out with your core. That's just a big general note. With horseback riding, if you push your belly out, you're going to cause kyphosis. You're going to cause you disengagement, over recruitment of your hip flexors and quads because of your lordotic posture, which isn't going to allow you to access the adductors and hamstrings that you need to stay upright and use those obliques. So even when you're stretching, use your abs. Couple more breaths here. Close your eyes as you're working right now. I want you to visualize yourself on your horse. And I want you to think about whatever you're working on in your practice right now, in your performance with horseback riding, the scariest thing. And I want you to imagine that scariest thing actually happening right now. You're on the horse, and that scary thing that you do have in the back of your head, maybe in a performance, maybe in practice, happens. Respond to it, see it, feel it. Put yourself in that environment and use your senses to experience what that feels like. And now let that go completely. Just let it go. And now put yourself back on the horse and in that same situation, and see the best scenario happening, the absolute best scenario, what you dream of, what you could only dream of happening. And use your senses. See it, feel it, smell, taste. All of those senses can help really invite what you want to happen. Visualization work is a great way to prepare for performance. Michael Phelps is a big believer in this, and he won his gold medal doing this type of visualization work, he actually visualized himself, his goggles fogging up in his practice outside. And that is what happened when he was doing his Olympic run with his butterfly. His goggles fogged up right when he dove in, and he had to count his strokes, which is what he figured out when he was doing visualization to win that gold medal. So it helps to actually think about the things you're scared about and to put yourself into that situation so that you know how to react, because there is the worst case and the best case scenario to think about. So wonderful work today.